Right, this is the second part of today's double upload. If you're looking for Man City or you haven't seen the earlier episode, go and watch that first. Otherwise, if you're ready for two more England games in the European League, no idea. Yeah, stick around for that. That's what's happening now. Hello and welcome to Season 16, Episode 5 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev and today is an England episode. We've got home games in the European League against Portugal and the Czech Republic. I don't know what the European League is. I'm sure it's lovely. We are apparently in Division A, which I think is the top one, looking at the teams who are in it. In the second group, we're playing both of these teams today at home, so you'd like to think we'd be top of the group by the end of this, maybe, because Czech Republic have played twice, drawn twice, basically drawn with both of us. I don't really know what the point of winning that is. Presumably, this becomes a knockout tournament, or is this how you qualify for the European Championships? Let me know in the comments. What on earth is the European International League? Anyway, injury news. Nathan Wilkes has just broken his back on England duty, which is really handy both for England and Manchester City. He's only out for 2 months apparently. It's a lower back stress fracture, whatever that is. And a little bit of Manchester City news. Cesar Ortega has broken his foot and is out for 4 months. So we're down to one striker at Man City as well. So that's nice. We are going to try a different tactic today with England, just because it feels necessary. We're gonna have a go with the diamond. That, believe it or not, that's not the players we're gonna play. Let's see what Matt Kilgallen says. He's usually a wise man. That seems more logical. Oh, perhaps it's not. Okay, Kilgallen obviously knows his. Well, yeah, that then. Who is Simpson? Jerome Simpson. Oh, there we go. So I don't think we're giving masses of debuts today unless Jerome Simpson is a debut. Who is Jerome Simpson? That is the question that we're all desperate to find the answer to. Apparently he doesn't exist. Oh no, he's played loads. He's a Chelsea player. He's played loads of times. There you go. That's fine. So Jerome Simpson is going to be in behind Tunnicliffe and Fall up front. We've got to make Modu Fall a poacher, surely. We're all familiar with his work as a poacher from the Ipswich days. The rest of the tactics should look very familiar to you from Ipswich as well. It's basically the tactic that I was using for the last season and a bit while I was at Ipswich, with a couple of minor tweaks. But I'm hoping this is going to be the tactic that is going to be the downfall of Portugal. So if it actually lets me submit my team, which it doesn't seem to want to do at the moment. Don't worry, it's processing. So, we're actually favourites, which is a bit odd because Portugal are way, way ahead of us in the world rankings. We're actually down to 36 in the world rankings now. So, not actually good enough to get to the World Cup, which we already know because we didn't qualify for it. But it would be nice to win the European International League, because that's probably better. That's what the fans want, I think. They want to win the European International League. So, yeah, we're not winning yet. We're also not getting the ball, but neither team is taking any shots. So it's typical international football. And look how tired all these players are. What is it with fitness for these international players? I can't rest them between games either. We've got the Czech Republic 3 days after this. And I'm not going to be able to rest any of these players. So judging by the fitness of them all 10 minutes into the game, we're going to have to rotate massively for the Czech Republic game, or else everyone's... I mean, look, Robinson, whoever he is already down to 79% condition after 15 minutes. That's just daft. He wouldn't get a look into my Man City team with that kind of conditioning. But Lewis Bradford, he's down there. I don't understand. Matt Lee, Modu Fall, these players were fit when they played for me. How does international football break them? Surely they're not travelling very far. Both of these games were at Wembley, so they've not got international travel breaking them. I don't get it. We're really struggling to get the ball here, aren't we? I'm starting to think that perhaps the diamond isn't the best system for international football. You don't see a lot of it about, I guess. Certainly poor teams trying to play. We're basically trying to Ipswich Portugal today. But I don't think we've got the players to do it. We don't have those really pacey attacking fullbacks. We've got Ron Osborne playing at right back, for goodness sake. He's an excellent centre back, but he's no Lazarov at right back, is he? Yeah, look how deep Modu Fall's having to come just to get a kick. This isn't good. This is a poor England team. Right, Bradford through to Fall and Simpson, and we're 1-0 up against Portugal. I told you we were good. Jerome Simpson, I've known about him for a long time and have long been an admirer of his. Chelsea superstar. Yeah. I didn't just figure out who he was today when Matt Kilgallen both suggested he is in the squad, then picked him in the team, because that would be really unprofessional of me. Because basically, Matthew Kilgallen is England manager at the moment, so I don't know who any of these players are. So I'm just sort of going by what he says. I kind of wish he'd just suggest a tactic for me, but I don't think we have backroom advice meetings with internationals, which quite frankly is a disappointment. Never let it be said that we let the professionalism drop for international episodes, because I would never, ever, ever let the camera run out of batteries just as we're scoring a goal. That would be ridiculous. But in other news, this is a replay of a goal. Modu Fall with the flick. I mean, look, this is an Ipswich goal. Look at this. We're playing head tennis, lumped free kick in. Fall just heads it anywhere. Humphreys nods it back across, and Lewis Bradford has made it 2-0. Perhaps the diamond is working. We are doing this Ipswich style. We're not getting any of the ball, but we're just attacking, and we're being nice and direct. And perhaps this is what we need to do with this England team, because we don't have the quality of player to try and control the game or keep possession. We just need to snatch our chances. We've got two good strikers. And that's about it in the squad. So the tactic has to be get the ball to those two good strikers by any means possible, as often as possible, and trying to avoid letting that happen, because they have just sliced us open there. I mean, we have no response to this. Look at this passing move. I mean, the movement from Portugal there, the passing, they've just torn us open, and that's going to happen because we're rubbish. But at the moment, we're rubbish and winning, so who cares? That's what it's all about. We've been dreaming for years of finishing top of this group in the European International League A division, or whatever it's called. Right, Adu's through. Can he get a crossover? Come on, stick it on Modu Fall's head. In it see, they listened, but both Fall and the ball were a little too close to the goalkeeper there. In all those years of having Modu Fall, how did I never realise Fall rhymes with ball when I was at Ipswich? That's clearly an England thing. Right, Tunnicliffe's through. That was a useful little shot, actually. Right, we have another corner. Simpson with the cross, and Jackson doesn't really realise. Well, okay, I thought he just missed, but apparently it was a defensive header. And we're at risk of another counter-attack from Portugal here, but luckily the highlight ends. And I think we're going to go in at half-time, 2-1 up, which is much better than expected. So real England manager Matthew Kilgallen can do his team talk. Yeah, things are going well, but you're capable of better. Yeah, you are, because Modu Fall hasn't scored yet, and I think that's quite unusual, looking at his England career so far. I don't think he's scored a goal for me yet. He's not played massively. I mean, it's only the third game we've had, and he didn't play in one of them, so I'll let him off. He's got an assist. But, you know, I'd love a Modu Fall goal. When I left Ipswich, I didn't think I'd ever get to see that man score again. Although now we've got no strikers left at Man City. Cheeky January bid, maybe? Ipswich is still in the bottom half of the Premier League. Wonder if we can do a cut price Modu Fall deal, bring him in January. He's trained in England. He's trained in England. He'd fit into the squad. Ooh, there's an interesting piece. I might have a word with him after this match. Tap him up. I mean, that should be a button I can press. Tap up Modu Fall. I'm the England manager, for goodness sake, and I'm his big buddy. I made that man. He should want to come and play for me. Matt Lee with a decent save there. Whoever Cameron Humphreys is, though, he's just given away a penalty, which is unfortunate, because I don't see us getting back into this game. Now it's gone to 2-2. There's only going to be one team go on and win it. We've had only 35% of the possession. We just need to carry on with the whole get the ball forward and try and score more than they do. I mean, it's good fun. It is like being back in the early-ish days of Ipswich when we weren't any good and this was all we could ever try and do. Feels like one of those European nights. So, we won the Europa League with a team that wasn't good enough to do it. So why can't we do it with England as well? Right, it's getting to that point where we need to make some substitutions. Look at the fitness levels of these players. I mean, it is ridiculous. I don't understand, because they're not that out of condition for their clubs, surely. Who have we got who's a striker who can come on for Modu Fall, who is just... Oh, Henry Smith. There you go. We know who he is. Tunnicliffe can go up front as the poacher. Would he rather be an advanced forward? I've come to like the advanced forward, so we'll play an advanced forward instead. Stretches the play a little bit more. And who else was exhausted? Michael Robinson, you can come off as well. Who can come on for you? Have I heard of any of these players? I've heard of Ryan Ledson, so he gets the nod. Why have I heard of Ryan Ledson? Who does he play for? I don't think we've had him in our England team before, but the name looks familiar. He must have been about a bit. 33. Is he he's a real player. That's why I've heard of him. Well, there you go. For goodness sake. We've got a player in our England team who's been playing in America for 10 years. Wow, is this what it's coming to for England? That 33-year-old MLS players are getting in the England team. Not only getting in it, but has been a regular in it for the 10 seasons he's been playing in the MLS. Nothing against the MLS, of course, but, you know, forget that nothing against it nonsense. It's the MLS. Is that how bad English football has got in the 15 years that this save has been running? It's very interesting seeing how drastically English football has fallen. Someone said in the comments for the episode the other day, the England episode, is it because of the fact that there's no limit on the number of foreign players in the Premier League and all that stuff? It's opening up that debate. And it's interesting to model, isn't it, really? We know from Man City and from Ipswich, we had very few English players at either of them, and it is having an effect, clearly. Right, Tunnicliffe, you can come off now. Danny Carter, whoever you are, you can come on. And we'll stick Henry Smith up front, up to the advanced forward position for the last 10 minutes. I mean, if it stays like this, 2-2 is a good result against Portugal and ridiculously puts us top of the group somehow. And then we've just got to hope we've got to hang on to this game first. Let's not count our international chickens. We did that before. But hope we can hang on and then go and beat Czech Republic. That's annoying. Right, well, that puts us bottom of the group now, that's different to being top of the group. It's worse. It's not. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just terrible defending. What? How? Right? Are we making it to the end of the season as England manager? Because this is painful. Any ideas on what on earth we can do? This is the hardest challenge I've had so far in Non-League to Legend. Who would have thought the biggest challenge would come as England manager? Imagine the headlines being written about me at the moment, but it's not my fault, Gov. Look at the terrible players I've got at my disposal. Right. I mean, they're going to go and score again here, aren't they? Just to really rub it in. I can't even say we've played well because we haven't. We've not kept hold of the ball at all. I think we might go back to the 4-2-3-1 for the Czech Republic game purely because it gets Diawa back in, who was the best player when we played in our last game, and doesn't get into the team when we play a diamond. So we might switch back to that. Should we go and do more punishment coming up? The diamond worked so well in the last game. We'll just use it again. Why not? I mean, there's players in this team. Who on earth is John May? I don't recognise him. He oh goodness me, he's a 26-year-old defensive midfield player who we're going to be playing at centre back because all our other centre backs are terrible. I mean, he is actually half decent in midfield for Newcastle. Matt Kilgallen, why have you put him in the side? No, try that again. No, you definitely think he should be playing. Well, who am I to argue with Matthew Kilgallen? Let's see what happens. It has been pointed out to me that in the last game we played against the Czech Republic, Jaroslav Mika was on the bench for them. So fingers crossed he'll be... No, he's not even in goal. Oh, there he is. Mika's on the bench. He's our player. Klima. Yeah, he's a Man City player. I'm surprised Mika is in ahead of Stanek and whoever else. We've been involved with a lot of Czech Republic goalkeepers. Who does Mika play for now? Barnsley. Let's have a look at how his career has gone. Wow, he's actually kind of stuck around in the Premier League as a backup goal. I mean, look at him. He gets found out quick. So since leaving Ipswich, he's been at QPR, Watford, Brentford, West Brom, Reading and Barnsley. Yeah, what a career. But he's still playing in the Championship now, which is mad. Surely if... I mean, I'm mocking the Czech Republic for having him in their team, but remember, our third choice goalkeeper is a League One player or Championship player or something. So, we're that bad that if Mika was English, he would be in this squad. That's the level England are at. So, we've got no kind of fitness levels. Everyone's exhausted, which is why John May is in, I guess, because the other defenders are all absolutely shattered. I'm a little bit uncomfortable playing Ron Osborne and Lewis Bradford because I don't really want them to get injured. And they're already exhausted. Look at Ron Osborne. He's going to drop down below 80% before we're 10 minutes into the game. This is just poor. Come on, lads. Let's go and nick a goal or at least just get knocked out of this ridiculous tournament. I think it's a tournament. Or is it? Are these just glorified friendlies? I am intrigued as to what this competition actually is. Right, Osborne. Get the cross in, Ron. Tunnicliffe is there. We're 1-0 up. I don't know what happens if we're in second place. I think first place wins it. Third place gets relegated. I guess second place just sort of hangs around and plays again next year, maybe. But I'm slowly working out the way this tournament works. I think the 4 group winners go and play a little mini tournament in the summer, where I guess there's semi-finals and a final, and then they get a trophy made out of tinfoil and cardboard. And pretend like they've won something. Interestingly, England won it the first 2 times it happened. So, we've got previous in this competition. It's ours. We're going to go and win it now. So we need to beat the Czech Republic today. And then I think our final game is in about a month's time away against Portugal. So I don't see any reason why we won't go away to Portugal and beat them based on the performance we've just put in against them at Wembley. We are playing a little bit better against Czech Republic, it has to be said. I'm being a little bit negative, you may have noticed. I don't really still know what the solution is. I guess we have to look at youth. The England under-19s have just romped their group in the European Championships qualifiers, so perhaps we just drag a load of players in out the under-19s. Ron Osborne is down to 67% condition. He's coming off at half-time. We can't risk an injury to Ron Osborne. Matt, do your team talk, but Ron's coming off because we can't risk him. Who have we got who can play at right back? Tell me. Liam Talbot. There you go. You can come in for Ron Osborne. Play it right back for the second half. We'll keep an eye on Lewis Bradford as well, especially now Nathan Wilkes has broken his back. Bradford is pretty much our midfield backup now in the Premier League. So I think we'll give it 15 minutes and then take him off as well, although he's now taken over as captain from Ron Osborne. Not that there's any favouritism around who gets captaincy. When Bradford comes off, I'll give it to Modou Fall or Matt Lee probably, just because they're the players I know. Right, are we... if this follows the same script as the Portugal game, I assume Czech Republic get back into it around about now. And then they'll go and win it late on. Modou Fall's just beating his man, though. Remember, he's reminding everybody that the rest of the team might be trash, but we do actually have 2 world-class strikers. So Fall's absolutely skinned his man there, racing down the right wing, and whips the cross in for Tunnicliffe to make it 2-0. So cross comes in. Nice little finish from Tunnicliffe. 2-0 up. Can we hold on today? That's the important thing. We're very much in a transitional period with England. The important thing is we don't get relegated from this group, I guess. We're not expecting to win it this time. It was slightly tongue-in-cheek when I said we'd go to Portugal and beat them. Tunnicliffe's in again. Would have been nice to get a third goal there. Right, Simpson with the corner. Can we just stop, not let them break? That's the goal here, really. Right, it's time to bring off Lewis Bradford again, protecting against injuries. So who have we got who can slot into that? I'm not bringing Ledson on again. That just seems like a complete waste of a cap. So Bird, he played for us in the last game, didn't he? Carl Bird. In fact, I think he's a proper defender. So yeah, so Carl Bird can go into the back 4, and we'll move May into the defensive midfield position. So that should look a bit more like a normal defence now, hopefully. Although they've done okay, but let's be fair to them. We've not conceded a goal yet. Tunnicliffe's done brilliantly there. Cross comes in. Fall really should have done better to get onto it. And again, it's just all about not letting the Czech Republic break on us, which we seem to be doing a fairly good job of at the moment. Bradley's going the wrong way and doesn't seem to have noticed. But the highlight inexplicably is still going. Bradley gets the cross in this time to Tunnicliffe. He has his hat-trick. And I think we might be about to win a football match with England. Which, this is progress now. Bradley eventually figured out which way we were shooting. That is the weirdest cross I've ever seen, because it never left the ground. But Tunnicliffe seemed to know it was coming, turned brilliantly, and tucked it away. I mean, we actually looked half decent for a minute there, apart from the bit where Bradley was just sort of running away. But we'll pretend that didn't happen, and just worry about the fact we've just scored quite a good goal. Right, there's no more Man City players in this team, so we don't need to worry about protecting anyone else's fitness. I might take Modou Fall off in a minute, just because as much as I'm not his manager at club level anymore, I don't want to see the man injured. And, you know, he's important for us, and he's made of glass. Have we got anyone else who can go on the right wing? I want to bring Diowa on, actually. But we haven't got anyone who can nip out onto the right wing to let us do it. So it's not going to happen, is it? So we'll just bring Henry Smith on for Modou Fall. Swap those two around. Give Tunnicliffe the last 10 minutes as a poacher. See if he can grab a fourth. And suddenly the headlines on the back pages are all very different. England are going to win the World Cup because we've beaten the Czech Republic. And that's how these things work. So Adu through to Smith, who nods it on, I mean, to no one. I mean, that's why he's been a championship player for most of his career. But still gets in the England squad. It's hard not to be negative about the state of English football here. I mean, I should send the little playlist of England games to the FA and just say, look, this is 15 years in the future. Is this really what you want to happen? Because if not, changes need to be made now, because it's coming. Right, we've made no attempt to defend either the cross or the player running onto the end of it. And if we manage to collapse from here, I might resign, because I think if we can't win from this position, I give up with being England manager. Although 86 grand a week, I probably don't. I'll wait to get sacked because I'm a monster. Right, what's happening? Matt Lee, just keep hold of the ball for 5 minutes. Seriously, if no one is running at you, just keep the ball. Matt, we've known each other for long enough for you to know what I wanted you to do there, and I don't honestly see why you kicked the ball away. Just let them run at you, and then lump it upfield the way you did. Because if they'd have scored a goal there, I'd have sacked him from England, and then we would have had to have played a League Two goalkeeper for the rest of eternity, because there's no other English goalkeepers around. I wonder if Ben Garrett's still playing. Where did he go? He went off to Toronto, didn't he? That's no reason to rule someone out of the England squad, we've learnt this episode. So perhaps Ben Garrett could come in and sit on the bench for us. He's good at that. We had a lot of fun times. He used to sit next to me. We'd have a laugh and a joke, share a bag of pork scratchings. It was a whale of a time. So might see if we... He's not going to want to fly over from Canada. Although, he could car share with Ryan Ledson. Right. There you go. We've beaten the Czech Republic. So with one game to go, we're third in our group. We've got to go away to Portugal, so obviously we're going to finish third in the group. Second in the group, sorry. So I guess that was as good as we possibly could have hoped for. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there, subscribe to the channel as well while you're down there prodding and poking at buttons. And thank you very much for watching.